this.
Quiet on set.
Quiet on the set. I want to know where the cheese and crackers is at.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
You're way too ready, man. And to think last week I called you and you just like, we're on Tech Tuesday. What? Oh, yeah. Oh, we're on the air.
Yeah.
We are on the air and we're back. You guys are back.
Take two.
Take two. No, we aren't. We're still on the air. We're actually on the air. It's good to see everybody. Thanks for joining us for Tech Tuesday, where Chuck and I love to read your emails and hopefully help troubleshoot some of your questions. Maybe it's how to use something on your Corvette or fix something on your Corvette or something in regards to maintenance of your Corvette. And I was looking at some of the questions today, and not that I'm tired about talking about C8, but and I apologize to all the C5, 6, and 7 owners out there that we have a big focus constantly right now on C8. And you and I have been talking about this. You know, here we're into the 4th model year. This car, there's used cars out there. People are trying to discover this car. There's a rediscovery of the car. You're getting into maintenance intervals that have to be talked about. So, you know, we'll get a little repetitious sometimes, but we just really want to bring this to your guys' attention so you have a good ownership experience of the car. I don't want you to be afraid to drive the car. That's part of what this channel is all about, is to stop dreaming and start driving. Don't let her sit around, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's good to see you back.
It's good to be back. Good to see you back.
Yeah, thank you so much. A lot to talk about today. Real quick, before we get into some of the emails and the text messages, last Tuesday, because Chuck wasn't here, we were talking about the STRADMAN'S situation on his Z06. A lot of concern over that. Again, we told you guys that was transmission fluid. Probably a leaky seal, what have you, but the saga continues. He was out of town last week, and they did load up his car, and we've talked about this many times over. We'll continue to do that. Chuck and I have been saying this for 2 years. The only way, there's only 2 ways to get a C8 Corvette into neutral, and they are...
Oh, it has to start to shift into neutral.
Right.
Or you disassemble the whole rear end of the car and you ratchet it into neutral.
Yeah, let me show you this clip real quick from STRADMAN, because they did pick up a Z06 and it's now at his local dealership in Utah, and we're waiting for the outcome, exactly what's wrong with the car.
Well, the boys from Chevrolet just arrived to save the day. So of course, step 1 is to dolly the car over to the center of the garage. Then we're gonna get it off the dollies and get it up the car elevator. But as you guys can see, there's a lot of fluid coming out of that thing. So I just got confirmation that the only way to get the car into neutral is...
It was while the engine's running.
Okay, so without the engine running, there's no way to do it unless you tear apart this entire back section of the car. So to access the transmission to get the car into neutral, we're gonna have to tear apart this rear luggage compartment.
And then that's neutral. That's
Oh, wow, that easy?
You have to hold it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so someone has to hold it in position as we push it. Okay. There you have it. The more you know. We're learning so much about this car.
Well, I mean, and you found out the hard way when you ran out of gas.
But who was on the other end of the phone? Hey, Chuck, I need you. Gas can, okay.
On my way.
Well, that's actually what prompted a lot of this conversation,
Sure.
which is great. Learning through our experiences, you know, through my mistakes sometimes on track. I want you guys to learn from that, because this is very real, and how we connect is really a lot of fun.
Sure.
Also, speaking of fun, let me tell you this and how we're going to connect. As I mentioned on Sunday, and you said something to me right away when I came in yesterday, you said, okay, what are you doing about this NCM Motorsports Park driving experience with the Z06? And I was frustrated because of the retail situation on Z06, and I said, here, I don't want to over promote that car and not be able to sell the car. But then I was sitting there thinking, you know, my channel's not all about selling cars. I need to go there and share that with you guys, even if you never buy a Z06, to have the opportunity to drive that car. And I love how they market it. They say above highway speeds. Absolutely. And do that for yourself. That's what Corvette is the experience. So that's going to be, and it is right now, the first and only place in the country that you can drive a Z06 is there. So next Tuesday, I will be down in Bowling Green, Kentucky, driving the Z06. Unfortunately, my son's got to work, so we'll do his session sometime in the spring, but I'm excited that Corey from Paragon is going to be joining us.
Great.
I know a lot of people said, hey, what about Ron Fellows? And I talked to the marketing guy there, and they've got Z06s for the owner school. So you'll get to drive a Z06 if you buy one, if you take their course within a year out there, but they don't have enough cars right now for the general public to purchase the class and do that. I think they're going to be some ways down the road before that's actually going to happen.
Sure.
And we talked about break-in last week, going back to STRADMAN'S situation. We've talked, and I don't think because he didn't break the car in properly that happened. I think it's just something that happened to his car, but it is important, and it's even important enough that Amelia Hartford, when she got her car recently, Chevrolet called her and reminded her it's 1,500 miles.
One thing Chevrolet did, they called me to tell me, yes, we know 500 miles is the break-in. We recommend 1,500 for track use, but they called me to be like, Amelia, we recommend 1,500 for the track use. So please don't do donuts or do any high RPM redlining until the 1,500. And I said, okay.
It's a stern recommendation.
Would you say it's a stern
Recommendation from General Motors.
Oh, most certainly it is.
And understandably.
And it's in the owner's manual, and that was my biggest fear, and I knew it. You see Mike at Street Speed, he's done donuts in his car, and he didn't have 1,500 miles on it. So these guys are all making content, and they're not thinking about long-term ownership and the implications from the way that they're presenting the car on their channels. They're just making content. But for us, it's a much different program. We really tied into the ownership and the experiences and the joy of having one and driving it. So those are a couple of things I want to talk about. I was really excited, and I appreciate the staff at the NCM Motorsports Park that's worked with me to do this in such short order. So Tuesday the 20th, again, just in case you missed that, we were just talking about, we're going to be down there, I'm going to be down there, we, as you and I on the channel, driving that, and I'll share that experience. You don't have to remind me. I'll be sharing that experience with you guys on Christmas morning here on our Sunday Coffee with Conti. So let's get into a Tech Tuesday. We got some great looking cars to show you guys, and hopefully some of the stuff not only helps the people that wrote in and asked the questions, but other Corvette viewers and owners out there and would-be owners. Hopefully this helps you at some point as well. What do you got there, bud?
All right, this one comes from Jim and Lynn. Says, Chuck, I have a 2020 C8 with 20,500 miles on it, and the car's been stored for the last 3 winters, so only driven summer months. My question, would you recommend the fluid required change per the manual at 45,000 miles or 3 years, or if percentages are less than 10%? What does the service generally cost? I don't know the cost because I haven't done one, but yes, when it comes to servicing this vehicle, I've said it before, I don't think you can over-service it, so I would definitely go by what GM recommends in the manual.
Yeah, and Jim is correct. 3 years or 45,000 miles. This, we're not talking about topping off the fluid. He's talking about draining and replenishing the fluid. And in the manual it says every 3 years or 45,000 miles, whatever comes first, more frequent fluid and filter replacement may be needed if the vehicle is competitively or aggressively driven. See your service guy for more details. And that's what he just said.
Yep.
So for me, I was about to, we did a service, and my percentage is not anywhere close to 10%, or else I would have done a full.
Sure.
I wanted to share that with people on the channel to see what's involved with that, so they realize there's quite a bit. I mean, you saw in that little clip we just shared a little bit ago with STRADMAN, and he was gone for a week, and how much additional fluid was all over. I mean, I don't know, what does that thing hold, like 11 liters or something like that?
Yeah, a little over 11 liters, yep.
Yeah, so good questions, good for him, good for other Corvette owners. Just watch how you're driving it, and it's nice that you have in the 2023s not only the engine oil life, the transmission fluid life, but you also have the canister life on the 23s in your maintenance tab. When you hit that right-hand part of your steering wheel, it'll let you, and that's the DCT canister filter that it's monitoring, because like Chuck has said many times over, that is your first line of defense to protect your DCT transmission.
Absolutely.
This is more of a it's more of a human question about buying a Corvette from Frankie. It says, Rick, what would you say to someone whose health isn't that great? Should they get a Stingray while they're waiting for the Z06 if they don't think that they're going to be alive long enough to get a Z06? And that really touched me. And we talk about that on the channel, making every day count.
Yeah.
And things have been so wildly inconsistent that we haven't been able to count on anything on the C8 other than it's a wonderful car when you finally do get it.
Yeah.
But Z06 is a whole different world right now. It's worse than what Stingray was when we first launched. So absolutely experience this car. That's all I have. I don't know what's going on with him. So yeah, stop dreaming, start driving, brother. You know, get that car, make every day count. Thanks for watching the channel, and thanks for allowing us to share that with you today.
Absolutely. This one comes from Tom. It says, I thoroughly enjoy your Tech Tuesday segment and appreciate the time you put into these vlogs. Please don't let the vlogs overwhelm you. I too track my Z51 C8 HTC, love getting on the track. Let me know if you ever plan to put your car on the Coda track in Austin. That's my main track, so Tom's looking for you to come.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
It says, has GM changed their ATF short fill policy on the new production C8 Stingrays? No, they have not. When the time, except for the Z06s. The Z06s will come with the extra 2 liters.
Good point.
Yes. When the time comes for a complete ATF changeout, will the GM dealer fill me up with the extra 2 quarts? I assume they will, since I'll be paying for it. I feel this inquiry may fail to the stupid question category.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. And when they do the full fluid change, there'll be an extra charge if you want the 2 extra liters added because of what you have to do to add those 2 extra liters. It's not just to pour in. Well, it is after you disassemble the rear end of the car that you can get to the plug on top of the transmission.
Right.
But just to fill it regularly, you can fill it from the side without tearing anything apart. So yeah, if you want the 2 extra liters, they can definitely do that for you, but it probably will more likely be an extra charge.
That's a great segue from Jim's question talking about the transmission fluid change. So yeah, we appreciate that question. Thanks for watching. Yes, sir.
All right, this one comes from Robert. It says, Chuck, I have a 2021 C8 Z51 starting to prep my car for the track. I wanted to know if the car comes with a high-performance brake fluid and the performance brake pads. If the fluid and pads are mainly street use, then what does GM recommend track use?
I love that we're getting these track questions.
Yeah.
This is cool. I mean, when you guys experience, once you buy your Corvette and you go to Ron Fellows, the Spring Mountain Motorsports in Nevada, even if you do just low-speed autocross in the parking lots and the cones, I mean, please do that and enjoy your car to its fullest. But this is fun stuff. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but go ahead.
Well, to answer your question, it comes with .4 brake fluid, which is a upgraded brake fluid, but it's not a high-performance, high-temp track fluid.
Right.
And the brakes are bigger, but I don't know that they're necessarily for, you know, heavy-duty track use.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking to Corey. He and I are going to probably have dinner and all that at Bowling Green next week because I'm getting serious in the tracking. I'm going to do selected high-speed sessions, and I've talked to a couple of my local customers that are using Carbotech brakes. Now, you said be careful if you put those high-performance brake pads on, Rick. He goes, your car's going to start sounding like a Coda bus, just driving around regular, everyday driving.
On the street, yep.
I'm like, okay, well, it's like, I don't want it to do that. So I want to talk to Corey, get his advice on what pads to use, because I know in some of my sessions recently, in that second session I haven't even shared yet with you guys on the channel at Pit Race, but I know that I could have drove faster and better. I could have went deeper into those corners, provided that I had better braking. So that is a big concern that I'm still learning right now. And once I decide what I'm going to do with that, and we're going to run with them all the time or have him change them out all the time.
Well, and you know, we had this problem with the C6s when the Brembo brakes come out on the 427s and all that.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
They squealed all the time because they were a high-performance brake pad from General Motors.
Good point.
And there was no way to get rid of it. Those pads were designed for track use, high temp. Right. And if you're just driving around the street, yeah, they're going to squeal like a Coda bus.
Okay. All right. So,
all right.
More to follow up on that one. What do you got there?
This one comes from James. It says, what's the best battery for my 2016 C7 Z51 Corvette? Well, James, I only recommend one battery for any Corvette, and that's an AC Delco GM battery. And if you're replacing it, pay the little bit extra money and get the GM Gold, because they do like a silver and a gold. Get the gold, get the best of the best. I've had this conversation with the parts department over time, and I tell them, look, I'm working on a Corvette that is electronically dependent, so I want the best battery GM offers for this car, and that is the AC Delco Gold battery.
Yeah, on these C7s, if they sit for, and especially this time of the year, for 2-3 weeks without being started and driven, it's going to start to cause a draw on those batteries.
And you just said driven. You can't just start them and let it run for 15-20 minutes and shut it off. By doing that, you're just consecutively running the battery down. I was told years ago from General Motors, when you key up a Corvette, it should have 20 minutes of drive time, not idle time, drive time, to put back what you took out just to start it, because they are so electronically dependent.
Right, and if you're not going to do that, then use your battery tenders.
Yeah.
GM provides a great one that plugs into the cars.
Sure.
Utilize that. Utilize that. All right, and this one comes from one of our customers, another C7 question. This is from Mark Johnson. He says, here's a question for you and Chuck on Tech Tuesday. I turned on my radio the other day for the first time, but really the exhaust sound is what I prefer to hear in my Corvette. But all of a sudden, I started hearing a vibration in the door skin. Sure enough, it was on the driver's side. Is this TSB only for the driver's side, or do I need to have both sides repaired? And that's, if you have a C7, you won't notice it. We've talked about this many times too, and it's good to repeat. If you've got a C7, you turn your radio on and you're inside the car, you won't notice it quite as much. But if you get outside the car, so you can hear, and it's vibrating, and it's that piece. Go ahead and tell them what that thing is.
Well, it's actually, there's a frame that runs down the midway in the door frame, and the skin wraps over it. And what's happening is the insulator they put between that, either they A, didn't put enough, or B, I've seen them where now, because they've got some age on them, they're starting to dry up and shrivel up, and then that allows the door skin to vibrate against the frame.
Yeah.
And it was for driver or passenger. It included both doors, so.
And you're seeing 8 out of 10 C7s right now come in on trade, and you're just doing both doors.
Sure. Well, I mean, I turn the radio up and listen first. I don't just do them to do them.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Once you identify the problem, then you're going ahead and you're getting them done. Whether it's, in the used car capacity, whether it's covered from GM or not, we're still, as a dealership, doing that for you guys, so you don't have that headache going down the road. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I got one more. How many more you got?
I got one more.
Okay, buddy.
All right, this one comes from Andrew. Says, I'm wondering if you can provide some guidelines. I want to get my stock 2023 wheels chrome, but in order to do it, I would need to put the car on jack stands for 2 to 3 weeks. I'm wondering, what would you recommend on where I can jack up the car so that I can put the car on jacking pucks and utilize the 4 jacking points, put the car on stands in another spot?
Is this guy from Ontario, Canada?
Yeah.
Andrew, it just so happens that we have John and Nancy's car from Idaho up, and we'll show you exactly where you should jack your car up.
I left this rack arm back a little bit, so if you have the jacking pucks, this is where it would go. So if you have the puck in here, you can come behind, because this is part of the car's frame, and jack it here. That way you can put the jack stand on the puck.
Okay.
Instead of jacking it on the puck.
It's nice to have those jacking pucks, because it's hard for me to see underneath the car where to jack it up, so that gives you the identifier. Okay, this is where we want to jack up the car.
Same way here. If you see this little spot right here, you can put the jack here, jack it up, and then if you have the pucks, you can put the jack stand where the puck is.
Okay.
Same way on this side.
All right, fantastic.
But it's not here. The jacking puck goes back here because there's a slotted hole, like the slotted hole up there.
Yeah, this is the tie down when they're shipping the car.
Right, this is where they tie them down.
Okay, so you want to go further back here.
Yep.
Yeah, because all the weight's back here.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you, John and Nancy, for letting us use your car. How's the underneath of your car look? Thanks, Chuck. I always like the visuals.
Sure.
That helps me. It helps our viewers as well.
Absolutely.
And here's the last one from Craig. He says, Rick, I love the Tech Tuesday. I learned a lot from it. I got a 23 C8 with 4,200 kilometers. Yeah, he's from Canada, because I don't even know how many miles that is. I noticed when pulling out of the garage for the first time, it seems that I have to push on the throttle just a little bit more, or should I do it slowly just to get the car to engage and to move? It's like the transmission, to me, feels like it's slipping. I don't know if I have to press harder or faster. It's a non-Z51. I don't have the 2 extra quarts. That has nothing to do with it. Or do I wait till the RPMs come down to under 1,000? We kind of talked about this before too, and actually one of his picks in the ride segment is coming up in just a minute. We talked about how this is a computer on wheels, and when you first start the car, you don't start the car, put it in gear, and take off. Start the car, maybe not let it go down to 1,000 RPMs, but let her come and settle down just a little bit and put it into gear. And you're getting a little bit of rocking from that DCT, and sometimes you have to put a little bit more gas on it. Maybe if you stop the car sometimes too, and you opened your door too quickly, you'll hear that the parking brake will engage automatically, so you'll have to push the gas just a little bit more to disengage that. And that's, could be one of the things you're doing, depending if you've got any kind of a pitch in your driveway or garage. So try to make this as quick as we possibly could because we really just love being here, talking Corvette with you guys and troubleshooting and answering these questions and listening to your feedback. Trying to do Tech Tuesday as much as we possibly can. I said the goal right now, until our schedule settled down and I get some additional help and trying to get the health back online, is to do at least 2 a month for you guys, and we really do appreciate that. Also, too, the email address is up on the screen so you can email in a question you may have for Tech Tuesday or for, we got to bring them back, Father Chuck. Keep in mind, I know, where's the costume's at home. Keep in mind, the questions you ask of Father Chuck will not be the answers that you expect. If you're expecting a serious answer from him, don't send it in.
Yeah, send it to Tech Tuesday, not Father Chuck.
Yeah, right, exactly. So thanks for that support out there. Continue to support the channel by subscribing. Thumbs up the video. Maybe you can see us down in Bowling Green next Tuesday for my Z06 drive experience. If not, then we'll have the experience shared right here on the channel on our Sunday Christmas coffee with Conti. So when we get done with all that promotional and announcements and stuff, what do we do next?
And now it's time for your beautiful ride.
He's right, man. We got some great looking cars. Check these out.
If I had known then what I know now, I wouldn't have said what I said. I took the long road, thought I'd be better on my own. Sometimes what's right is wrong instead. 'Cause I was too young, and I didn't understand that you were the one. And I can't wait to see you hindsight is fleeting when your heart's bleeding and all you can see is red, till you discover it is within each other to forgive and make amends. If I had known then what I know now, I wouldn't have said what I said. I took the long road, thought I'd be better on my own. Sometimes what's right is wrong instead. 'Cause I was too young, and I didn't understand that you were the one. And I can't wait to see you again. Oh, I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait. 'Cause I was too young, and I didn't understand that you